Hello everyone and welcome back to Ravenhollow. We're in for a big episode. Well, kind of big episode. I don't think a lot of stuff will happen because the next step in our settlement will be to create a bailey. Which means we need a wall around our village center. And in order to build a wall, what do we need? We need a ton of limestone. So there we'll start to dig down. And I think the best place to dig down is actually in our kitchen, because having a food storage area kind of emanating from the kitchen outward sounds pretty decent. Well, it makes the paths also as short as possible. All right, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to set this up to be cut down here in order to make that maybe a little bit safer, where we might turn the direction of the stairs into this. And then we do need to remove the surfaces up here. So let's destroy these, and then we'll start digging more and more down. So at the moment, we do only have 250 limestones. There might still be some scattered around on the map, but in all honesty, I'm not getting my hopes up too much that this might be the case. All right, in addition to that, we're also gonna keep scavenging whatever there is out there on the map. I guess we have finished fishing down here already. Could now also fish this one up there. Yeah, I guess why not? Because the more fish, the more food supply we actually have that we can utilize. I do also want to keep our good scholar Osmond. He looks very different with his hat. I do want to keep him researching, because it would be excellent if we could unlock food preservation. Now, where would the food preservation be? I feel like it used to be easier to figure this out, but you know, it's just what it is. All right, fermenting, beekeeping, preserving food. So we actually need to unlock agriculture for that. Are we gonna do this? Or are we gonna wait for the armorer? Maybe we'll actually wait for the armorer. So with the added, actually only 110. Why is that? Shouldn't it be more? Prison cell, training room, treasury, armory, great hall. Where is the library? There we go. You need one basic research table, at least 2 wall bookshelves, and a scholar's lectern. Really? Since when? That's not unlocked until here. And we already need a second research table? Ah. They have changed that. I'm disappointed. Nah, just kidding. Alright, bottom line is though, we do need someone to actually focus on mining. Mining 10 is pretty nice, but you're already very busy with a lot of stuff. So our newest recruit, William, is currently just constructing. Crafting could work. Crafting and carpentry, I guess you have nothing to currently craft. So let's have William do a little bit of the digging around here. Right, we also see, and let me actually turn off the room overlay again, we did actually get a good amount of fish. Now, they will decompose, but in over a month, so easy peasy. That should kind of give us a good starting point to survive the winter. Alright, the first one he has dug out already. I appreciate that. But yeah, it'll be a lot until we're actually at a place where we can properly dig more underground and then get sort of a root cellar going. Root cellars are very important back in the day in order to survive winter. However, not everyone did have one. So I think it will be a while before we have one, probably not before the end of winter. But at least that will allow us to keep our food fresher during the summer. Because it will be colder down there. And then, again, we'll be in much better shape. Alright. I wonder what Abel is gonna do once he is basically done playing. He is cooking. Why are you cooking, mate? Isn't your cooking skill? Your cooking skill is pretty bad. Okay, I don't want you to cook. You could start constructing some stuff. Maybe I'll actually have you prioritize hauling instead. Let me cancel that for you, mate. Because we do have a more dedicated cook who will be much better suited to actually do this. And it is Osmond. And he should technically prioritize cooking over researching, but he doesn't want to. You know, I feel ya. Alright, let's have him do some cooking. Because I just, well, need him to do something. Something more productive. We should probably also go ahead and chop down a few more of the dead trees. Just gathering more material for the winter. And we're just calling that forest rejuvenation. Actually quite a few dead trees out there, which is very beneficial. Excuse me. All right. Besides that, one thing that we could also add is a little rooftop over the shrines. Might be nice. Is it necessary? Not really. That kind of looks a little bit weird with the rounded edges. Okay, let me make you square again. Now the window fits a little bit better. And you know what? Why don't we actually add just a little bit of stuff here? Just an outcrop. Will that will probably actually cover up the window. So let's not do that after all. All right, a negotiator has come. The extortionist. Jump to location. Who is our best speechcraft person? 3, 5, 3, and 8. William, go ahead and negotiate. Also, why are you cutting stuff down? You should prioritize mining. Unless you're done mining already. And you are not. But we do have the space that we need in order to put down a staircase one level. And Abel, not Alan, can then get to constructing. Alright, let's have him run over there. I just want to know how many of them there are gonna be. Because maybe we can take them on. 1 archer, 1 fierce marauder for regular marauders. Okay, we're just gonna ignore them. And they can come attack us when the time is right. Okay. So let's, in the meantime, have a look into research. Can we unlock anything that would be beneficial for us? I honestly don't think so. What if we go ahead and build some stick traps? And it's exactly what I kind of expected. We don't have anyone with the necessary construction skills. Ugh. But, you know, it's fine. It's fine. We'll make it. All right. William is back to constructing, not constructing, back to mining. And he is making his way slowly down there while producing more material for us to utilize. That is good. Osmond is also cooking. Don't know why he is still cooking, because he has reached the target. I guess he just prepped it? And where is he running to now? I don't understand. Is he done researching? We're already at 25. That explains it. So let's up this to 50. So we can also just keep a little bit of research available. Also, We can utilize the books for bartering. They sell pretty okay, to be honest. So that might overall be a good way of also creating initial income, basically, from trading. All right. Still eating cooked meat. I guess that kind of makes sense, although we don't have any meat anymore. Grilled fish. There we go. It's not a ton of food that we have available here. Makes me think we should probably go more fishing a little bit more. Also harvest a bit more of the stuff around here. The camera is still a little bit funky for my taste, but you know, we'll make it work. Right. And then we're going to set this stuff to be harvested, well, fished. All right. There we go. Donkey's still happy. We do have a good amount of hay actually in there. We also have 2 large piles in there. And that also tells me one thing that we can do is actually go ahead and put some flooring down in the barn. And then we're going to utilize the barn area as storage for animal feed fodder. Here we go. And then we can remove the fodder from here. Again, making a bit more space for us to store new bits and pieces of equipment. Or, you know, whatever we want to store. All right. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit worried about the next attack. We do have one more gambeson, and I think that will be quite useful for William to wear. And then we're also gonna add at least one helmet on. And I think we only have one helmet. Looks like it. I don't think we need different weapons. Actually, the shield, the large shield, could be much better than the flimsy buckler, the tower shield. 35 and 95% compared to what is Osmond currently carrying. Nothing. Okay, I guess his shield broke. All right, compared to 25 and 70 for the smaller one, I guess that makes sense. What about the bigger weapons? 3.3, 3.4, and William has 3.9. Okay. Osmond, his little short sword, has a damage of 5.8. And this short sword has 4.606. Okay, so I think they're actually well equipped for stuff. I also noticed we have some regular berry bushes in here, so we're absolutely going to harvest those. We stood our ground. Yep, excellent. And they will attack in 3 hours. Excellent. All right. More research available though. So we'll unlock the tailor. Not the tailor. Oh, it is actually the tailor. No, it's the armorer. Okay. And then we're already going to set this up to be placed. That thing is huge. Yes, we could place it on the outside. Let's do that. Yeah. Well, it would be nice to have an inside area to place this down. We currently do not have the space because I want to preserve the storage that we have in here. All right. People are getting ready to attack. So I think it will be, or it is time. No, I think they're not too far away. So I'll just have them keep running around until the attack comes. And then we're going to pull them all in the same defensive position as before. However, William, I actually do need you to wear the gambeson. And then Osmond, you're getting the kettle helmet. And I'm also going to make you equip the tower shield. And the attackers have arrived. They have someone to easily take down the door. And a proper archer this time with a large bow. That will be a rough fight. Not gonna lie. All right, let's have our archers be pulled in, placed up here, and then have our, well, our melee fighters are still equipping things, but they are getting there. So there we go. I'm gonna place William just behind Osmond. Right, incursion. Let's have a look. Were they actually going to attack? Yep, and they're immediately aiming for Osmond, which I guess makes sense. Can temporarily put our archers on the other side, as they are coming from over there. Could also just place you here. I think that's a good position for all of you. Okay, pause. Attack the enemy, and you guys, I want you to hold the ground. Come on, can you at least... Hey, I said... I moved them. Hold the ground, please. Alright, that bugged out a little bit. I'm not too upset about it. We're gonna go after Guinevere, I guess. And those two can go on to attacking the first intruder. Osmond is actually taking a lot of hits. Settler are unconscious. I'm assuming that is Osmond. So I'm gonna send William on the inside, so he has a little bit of defense. Okay, one Marauder is dead. And you guys, can you please attack the archer? And we're gonna go after the one with the lowest health. Okay, maybe not. Ooh. Another settler unconscious. That won't last too long. I hope none of them are gonna die. None of them died. Three sworn enemies died. Okay. Did really nobody die? Nobody died. Crazy. Alright, I'm gonna see if we can't take one more of you guys out. No, of course not. Alright, let's undraft. That was rough. But I think it's okay. You actually need to carry William to a bed and then immediately treat William. He is in worse shape compared to Abel. Okay, wounds tended. That is good. Whew. That was rough. Right, Abel is being treated. I'm glad nobody died. We got a little bit more material out of them, which I guess is good. Tending wounds failed. Go ahead, do it again. And I think with that, all of our settlers are stabilized. So we're going to strip every enemy down, per usual. And then we're gonna prioritize hauling them away, like the dead bodies. Because I also don't want the wolves to kind of just hang out there. We also need to have you put down another door in here. And please on the inside, not on the surface or on the outside. I can't actually place this. Can we repair this? We can repair this. Okay, good. Good. Ellen, you are still hauling to the stockpile. I do want to actually move the warbow on the inside. Don't want it to decompose. Really? You were on the inside, mate. Why are you going to sleep? And why is there nothing for me to actually say, please repair the door? Kind of don't want it to be deconstructed. Right, you know what? Take this to the storage, and then I'm gonna go in here, Alan, and I'm gonna set you to constructing on highest priority. Hopefully, I guess you are awake now. Just 8. I'm hoping you're going to construct or repair the door. You're auto-equipping. What were you auto-equipping? Oh, I guess a hat. Okay. But could you please just repair the door? There we go. Wasn't that hard, was it? Okay, and he's hauling the rest to the stockpile, and then we're again in a good situation for our settlers to continue. Now that was a rough bit of work, but we kind of managed. I'm gonna reset the priority of your constructing, because as long as this is repaired, we're again in a much better state. Right. What I really don't like about this game is that when the enemy attacks, they can stack on top of each other. That wouldn't be feasible. Width of this should be for one settler only. I understand from a construction point of view, not a construction, game development point of view, why they did it like that. Because otherwise your settlers would get stuck if you make just a one width hallway. So you don't want that. Kind of makes sense, right? But it makes building defensive places so much tougher. I mean, you would also only have one of your settlers fight one of the enemies. But still, I think that's how it should be when you build a defensive area like that. All right. Anyways, enough of a rant. Everyone is sleeping again. Okay. But our settlers are recovering well, so I'm quite happy about that. And for this, we actually need iron ingots. And I did not think about this. So next thing we need to unlock with research is actually a smelter, which is over here. Another 30 regular research. And we will need additional space out there to actually build the smelter. All right. So let's extend the same kind of situation that we have here over this way. A couple of wooden beams, and then of course our rooftop, which will be the exact same one as over here. And this out. Now you should be a regular roof, just like that. I think that will be okay. Alan keeps fishing. I guess it's good for him to procure more food for us. But yeah, it is time that the rest of our settlers are getting back to normal. Osmond is actually kind of okay. Is he? Dislocated shoulder. Okay. And we do have a merchant come in, which I like to see because we could probably use some stuff to negotiate with. Also want to make sure that we are dropping actually all the equipment. Maybe for everyone. Actually, definitely for our melee fighters. Our archers, I think I want to keep them the way they are. Because if we ever need to hunt down a animal, I think that will be quite useful. All right, the merchant is just hanging out near our stove, which I guess is fine. He brings some meat, stew, barley. Well, we're definitely gonna buy the barley seeds, the beets as well. And the rest we have plenty of stuff. We do have 51 medical herbs, so we're absolutely gonna pay with them, just 10 of them. Absolutely. Let's accept that. And then I'm going to go in here and make sure we're actually not using any of the berries anymore. As well as, oh, there's still the gooseberries, as well as no barley for now. Because I want to keep those as seeds for when the spring happens, so we can actually, well, plant them properly. All right. Why did you climb all the way up on our tower? I guess you're just bored? What are you doing? You're going back to sleep? I don't think so. Let's prioritize you hauling the stuff first. So again, it doesn't decompose more. And once you're done with that, looks like actually we need more of these weapon racks. So let's add another one in here. They can store 3 in total, which means that will not be enough. So we're going to add another one down there. Maybe not in front of this. Let's go ahead and place it in front of our library stack. Just again to keep the area a little bit more organized. When we look in terms of furniture, the next furniture will actually unlock some wooden chests, which would actually not be the worst to unlock, but it does need a ton of research. And we honestly just don't have that amount of research. All right. What we do have though, and that will also help us keep our storage solution cleaner, is a sewing station. So we'll place that right next to the research table, making our storage again smaller. Oh, look at that. They're actually done with mining all of this out. Very nice. So let's add the next level down. And I think we're going to go one level underneath that as well. Okay. Need to make one more space over here. And I think that will be a good situation. And then we can start mining further down to get to our root cellar. Wow. That took forever to say. All right. Let's also go ahead and think a bit more about defenses. Like I said, what we initially wanted to do before the attack really happened. We're going to close this area off. This will become the first outline, at least, of our defensive structures. We also want to basically build the wall around this entire area here, and then probably move over this way. So let's go ahead and already do that. I don't think we're going to finish that in this episode. I know we're not going to finish that because we will definitely be short in terms of material. Let's actually go over here this time. But once all of this is in, all we need to do is remove some of these staircases and put a few more walls in down here, technically. And then we have our first defensive area ready to go. Now down here, we can also already block this off. Is there a piece of soil underneath? There's one here. So I think this should technically fully block this off. So we could be okay. Actually, don't need to. Don't need to put these down. I don't know what just happened. Here we go. Free this stuff up. Once you have both of these in, William, actually prioritize hauling before you do anything else. Okay, now I'm gonna let you drop it. At least it's on the inside, and then you can build this wall right there. Okay, now we also want then to mine off the slope here, and the slope here. I guess this slope here is fine. Because if we're gonna go ahead and build this out here, don't know why it wouldn't let me drag it. It's okay. This in place, that would actually be a decent defensive area. Now they can always build up a little ladder and get all of this sorted, you know, and attack. Let's hope they're not. But, you know, future worries, future worries. Like I said, I don't think we're actually going to finish that in this episode. However, I'm going to set them to actually harvest the remaining berries over here. There's stuff on there. I don't want you to destroy the gooseberry shrubs. Here we go. I hope that doesn't make it explode. No, it doesn't. Good. Oh, wait. And we're actually building more of that defensive structure than I expected. Okay, how's our research coming along? We're actually making good progress overall. So in the next episode, I think we'll be able to unlock the smelter and the armorer, and that will hopefully help us. I know you're just gonna run back and do this, so let's just finish this while you're here. There we go. What was I saying? Right. In the next episode, if we unlock the smelter and the armorer, we will be able to equip our settlers with better stuff, and that will ultimately help us to get to a better situation where we can protect ourselves at least a little bit more. Okay. Nonetheless, it feels like not that much happened, but we kind of made it through. Nobody died. That's at least a big bonus. We haven't even built the sewing station yet. So let me actually go ahead and quickly, Abel, you can prioritize constructing this. So at least, you know, it feels like we got something done. But I like the way our defenses are kind of planned out. And then we just need to add doors over this way, which should technically be reinforced doors, but it will be a while before we get to that. Let's for now put it as a double door anyways. I like that half-rounded shape, so they can work on that whenever we are ready. All right, with that, I'm actually going to call it an episode, so thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.